First day of school, first day of class. Brick is in order. Let's go. We got through it, man. Welcome. Here we go. How's everybody doing? Yeah, you better believe it's beat New England, man. You better believe it. What's going on, Raider Nation? Let's go. Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to get this out. You want to beat New England? Yes, we're getting the show ready. All right, man, let's go. You know me, man. When these games count, I amp it up. Mikey, oh man, what a weekend you had in Vegas. Woo! I'm not talking football, buddy. I just interviewed Pete Carroll. You'll see it on some Raider platforms today. It was gold. 10 minutes of Pete. First time I've done it since the beginning.
Here's that. His track record speaks for itself. He competes every single day, and that's what I love about your silver and black aim to sound off for over 25 years. Somebody willing to play harder longer than the guy lining up across the team lining up across from me. And if you're not, then I want to be in space. That's where the Raiders live in. But I expect excellence every day. And now here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT, as we open it up live from Raiders headquarters. Again, live from Raiders headquarters on all platforms right here now on YouTube live at JT the Brick. YT, you got us on the Raiders mobile app, and you're going to get fired up because I got a big show lined up. How's everybody doing? As I told everybody in our chat, everybody who's watching live, today is the first day of school. First day of football school is today. Actually, for me, it was last night. I was on last night after the Belichick loss. Ooh, did you see that beauty? Oh, did you see that game? North Carolina. Did you see how bad they were? Oh, my God. Did you see how terrible Belichick in North Carolina was? Man, that was ugly. So I started last night. I'm all ready to go. And then I came in today to interview Pete Carroll. And sometimes we're going to have Coach on live, maybe. Today, due to his schedule, we did it about 45 minutes ago, and it was radio gold, and I had nothing to do with it. It was all Coach Carroll on competition, getting ready for the Patriots, the pass rush, Geno, Ashton Genty, and most importantly, the fans, what he expects from you in the Raider Nation. So I'm very humble and very grateful that I get chosen to do that interview. And that was the first one I've done with him since he came out and we had the media day, the first day where we sat down with him along with Eric Allen, Paul Gutierrez, and he came into this beautiful studio where I'm at, and he was fantastic. So very excited about that. And what I'd like you to do today is elevate your game. I really do. You know me, I could get pretty emotional every time I come on the show. No matter where you're listening, no matter where you're watching us, I need you to elevate right now. Okay, it's not do or die. This game's really important against the Patriots. It's Patriots week here. Raider Nation is not like the Patriots since the Tuck rule and before that. Raiders had a pretty good historic run with the Patriots dating back to the AFL. All right, the Matt Millen punch. Okay, there were some big moments. Sugar Bear Hamilton. If Sugar Bear Hamilton didn't hit Kenny Stabler late, in Oakland. The Raiders do not win Super Bowl 11. And that might have been the biggest disaster in Raider history. If the Raiders didn't beat the Patriots at home on a roughing the passer call on Sugar Bear Hamilton, where they were able to score and win the game, I don't know how John Madden would have survived that. I think he would have, but Mr. Davis would have been like, we can't win. We got to win the championship. And the Raiders should have won. They were in Super Bowl II. Super Bowl III was the Jets. The Raiders were pretty much better than the Jets in that period. Super Bowl IV, Kansas City won with Len Dawson. The Raiders swept them that year. That was another Raider Super Bowl. And then we ran into the steel curtain. How about that? Running into the steel curtain. And the history with New England is deep. It is. But it all comes back to the Tuck rule. And now Tom Brady is a minority owner of the team. Unbelievable. I mean, if I would have told you when Tom Brady was playing in the Tuck rule that someday he would be minority owner of the Raiders, you would have said, well, what planet do you live on? That's true. Tom Brady and the culture in this building. So the phone number remains the same. Use it, and take advantage of it. This week is all about Raider Nation stepping up and changing everything. I can't predict how many games they're going to win. I never have. But what I can do is tell you I'm all in. I'm a season ticket holder. I'm a member of the Black Hole. I'm all in. I'm here on the front lines of the Raider Nation to help everybody else get to the front line. Okay, I'm not in the back. I'm not in the rear. I'm at the front line here with Raider Nation, and we need you. Because the biggest part of my interview with Pete Carroll, and I'm just teasing it, is about you, the fans. It's really important you make the connection with this coach. This guy's unbelievable. And they've all had their unique styles that they brought to this team since they've come to Vegas and before that. But the word I'm going to use here is respect. There's a level of respect when Pete Carroll walked into this room 45 minutes ago that was really cool. All the other coaches respected me, and I respected the hell out of all of them. But this guy walks in and you just feel a little bit different. It's just different. And his demeanor, and this guy is always on. And I really liked our conversation because it wasn't over the top. Very cerebral, what he had to talk about. We covered everything. And look, we didn't cover like nickel packages and this. It's week one. We haven't played a game yet. And next week it'll be different. And then the schedule, we'll figure out what the schedule is going to be with Coach and my schedule and what's it going to do, because whatever Coach wants, I'm going to do. If he wants me here at midnight to record or he wants me here at 6 a.m, I'll be here. But the schedule for the Raiders is really unique early because there's 2 road games back east in the early window. There's a Monday night football game and then a short week. So we really don't have a calm schedule until week 4, which is the Bears. Because remember, this week, we're out of here to go to New England, early start. We come back from New England, hopefully with a win. Then you got to wait for the Chargers. And then the Charger game, after the Charger game, boom, you're on a short week going to play Jaden Daniels. And then after Jaden Daniels, you come home and you look around and go, okay, we're in our beds, we're home. The schedule's at home now. We got the Bears coming in. And hopefully the Raiders have a win or 2 already before the Bears game. And then the thing can get going. But, man, it was cool to talk to Pete Carroll. And I didn't sleep well last night. You know how you get a little, not anxiety. I don't get stage fright or anything like that. But, I didn't sleep well knowing that we were going to do this interview today. And I got another new coach. There's been many that I've interviewed. And you just hope this one's the right one, man. That's all we've been saying about every coach. You just hope they're going to be the right guy. Mark Davis has continued to try to pump all of his resources into this team to get it right. And when it hasn't been right, he said it, and he's made changes. Mark doesn't want to make changes anymore. I've talked to Mark. Mark wants to win as badly as he's ever wanted to win. And now this regime coming in here, I think you'd all agree, have been interesting and impressive. I know you're impressed with the coach. How could you not be? John Spytek is young. I mean, John Spytek didn't go out like it was a bachelor party and start throwing bills around everywhere and going out there and getting every free agent he could. I think they've been fiscally responsible, but they brought in a quarterback in Geno Smith. They brought in a running back in Ashton Genty. I really hope this looks good with Amari Cooper. I really do, because that was a signal to you and the Raider Nation that Coach Carroll wants to win now. We already knew that. But why bring in Amari Cooper? Well, they have the money to do it. They have the capital to do it. And Amari Cooper's made so many big catches his entire career that you got to count on him making a big catch. What if the Raiders are down 17-14 in New England and it's fourth down at midfield and Amari Cooper is the guy that breaks free in the middle of the field and makes a catch for a first down? You're going to be like, oh my God, what would we have done without him? So when I looked at this entire preseason and offseason, it wasn't controversial. It was quiet, but a lot was seen by us. The fact that Jackson Powers Johnson had to work to earn his job to the final play of the preseason he was not a lock to be starting at right guard, and he's not starting at center, and I think he's a hell of a player. I really do. I think he's a good player. He's the best five guy. And then the fact that we got young corners who are very young. I was telling someone in the hallway, the corners I saw at LSU, did you see that Clemson game? Those LSU corners, they're in the NFL. Don't tell me they're not. They're in the NFL. They're just they're just staying warm in college, and they are as good as any corners that are 2s and 3s around this league. We got young corners. They didn't play at LSU. Okay? These are guys that Pete's going, I'm good with. I'm good with these guys. These are my guys. Let's go with them. But I really think this comes down to Geno. And I think Geno can handle the pressure of Raider Nation and the Raiders. Geno's really good. He's top 4 in completion percentage. When was the last time we said that? When was the last time we said that? When was the last time we said there's a quarterback that can throw the ball accurately and can prove it with his track record with the stats? Now, again, he's going to throw a pick. He's going to get a strip sack every once in a while. It's going to happen. It's football. Joe Burrow can't win the first 2 weeks. Every year of his career, he almost gets knocked out of games. But we have Geno to go into New England. Who would you rather have going into New England, Geno or Drake May? I'd take Geno all day long. Drake May's a good young player. I'll take Geno in that environment all day long. I don't know who's going to win the game. I hope it's the Raiders. So that's where we go. We begin with the Raider Oath. Raider Man, original black hole, diehard Raider Nation. Perfect way to start off the new season. Raider Man, thank you. What's happening?
You know I gotta say up on you, JT, man. It's the kickoff of the season, and who better to break the winds than you from the neighborhood, right? Shout out to Coach Carroll, man. We got you back. You know what I mean? I won't speak for everybody because everybody got to do their own damn part. But it's been a long time since I've been excited for the Raider football the way I'm excited for this Raider football team. So if you feel poo-pooing, that's going to have to be your own business. It's time to kick this season off. And happy opening day, everybody, because I heard that there's actually football tonight. So even though the real game ain't going down till Sunday, these new NFL packages and stuff, look, they're making sure they grab every penny under every freaking couch cushion, and I can't be mad. I'm looking to get on that train. Tell Mark Davis or tell Coach Carroll they need somebody to carry their bag. I'll be the perfect candidate. Look, JT, it's been a wicked few weeks. I know I've been absent, but there's been a lot going on. I won't go into it because it ain't been positive, so I didn't want to bring that energy on the air. Apologize for my absence. But I tell you what, this 19's all over my Raiders roster, man. And King 19 is back. I'll tell you what, that's a great omen for me. You know how I get when things start looking my way. Shouts out to the kid, Tyree Wilson, number 19. I'm watching this dude grow through it all. Like somebody been having his behind watch the Lyle Alzado tape. If he just keep people from crossing his face, hold that outside containment on that edge, and work havoc in the middle, we're going to be dangerous this year with Tyree pushing. I know we might miss the influence of the other guy that left, but I tell you what, Coach Carroll know how to coach them up, and we got about $1,000 worth of compound kicking in our backfield. We know what to do with that. And then the all-time tight end, man, 19 prime minister, because Brock Bowers going to shred this damn field, and with a quarterback like Geno at the helm, it's going to be incredible to see. It's like a ride a roller coaster. Right now, I'm going up that incline, and all you hear that tick, 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 tick. But as soon as that bad boy hits the apex, I'm throwing them hands in the air. I'm screaming with everything I got because it's about time to ride this roller coaster. And we're going to get it to the end. An honorable mention to the OG, man. Cooper's back. He's truly back, too, because I heard the dude said he had unfinished business. And I'm buying in on all that. That wasn't just coach speak. That it had nothing to do with trying to appease Raider Nation. That man was spitting something off his chest, and it made it feel good that he's going to be doing that from our side. I heard my brother, man, Gangster Raider, get in his tail a little bit, and some of that is warranted, but I tell you what, it's all in the past. We're forgiving everything right now because it's time to start into this season, and Cooper's going to be the reason why we took the field and be into the damn playoffs. Man, this team, Gino's time to shine. And when we get to damn Massachusetts, over there in New England, I predict the weather to be plenty dense. Because our offense is mighty, mighty chippy these days, and defense is with over a grand worth of competition. Because we've been battered and bruised, and we've moved and come back. But our colors don't change. We're silver and black. And this commitment to excellence starts up every year. And no powers on earth will drown out this fear. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of our mighty silver and black, and unto these colors for which we stand, Raider Nation under a groove with free speech and liberty. Remember the two. He who has ears, let him hear. I hereby declare, I am a Raiders fan. Say it again for the people in the back. A Raiders fan. Shout out Mark Jones. Shout out Cisco. Shout out Thornhill. Shout out all my black hole family, man. We coming to get it. Raider Nation, tear the Band-Aid off. Time to bleed on somebody else. See what I'm looking at you, JT.
That's one of the greatest Raider man calls I've ever taken in well over 25 years. That is what I'm talking about. That was a 5-star phone call. Not everybody can be Raider man, but you can try. You can do it your own way. God, that got me going. The Raider Oath. And I like what he said at the end. Rip off the Band-Aid. It's time to bleed on others. You've been through a lot for over 20 years. We know it. Okay, it's not going to be easy. No one's picking the Raiders to do much. They aren't in Vegas. There's a couple of prognosticators who are saying that the Raiders can compete, but the odds don't show it. The odds don't show it. And I'm not a gambler, but you got some good odds. If you think the Raiders are going to win the AFC West or do something, go to the window. Go to the window tomorrow because you're getting good odds, long odds on the Raiders. Jeff Sherman will join us in about a half hour, the VP of Risk Management over at the Westgate, on how to bet football. How to bet football. Man, that was good. So he's right about a couple of things. Ashton Genty. I don't know what's going to happen with Genty. If Genty doesn't have an iconic first game, it's kind of like Arch Manning. Arch Manning came out and didn't have a good game. I'm hoping Ashton runs for over 150 yards. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to have a whole long career. Not a lot isn't made on the first game unless it's iconic, and you have a rookie who comes out and just sets the world on fire. We got the kid who can do it. He'll do it. I don't know if it'll be week 1, but he's going to have big games. Amari Cooper, Raider man, mentioned. And this whole organization has been waiting around. They just flipped the organization again and gave it to John Spytek and Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly to kind of look at it again. What players do you want to have that are here? Let's get some new players. And they've done that. They've signed players from the former regimes. They kept some of the players, but they brought in a whole bunch of rookies. And the rookies are going to be the future of the team. Last couple of years, we've been drafting rookies, and they don't make the team. They're not on the team 2 years later. That's got to change now. So I'm live from Raiders headquarters. You should be too. Number 702-365-9200. This week would be the week. If you want to give a prediction on the Raiders record, you can. Again, I'm not going to do it, but if you want to call in and say what you think the Raiders record's going to be, I'd like to hear it from the real Raider fans who are coming and spending money. I hope you think they're going to win more games than they lose. You're paying these prices, you're flying to Vegas, and you're coming here. Mike in Staten, Italy, coming off an iconic Vegas weekend. Hey, Mikey, they're saying Vegas is dead. Tell us why Vegas isn't dead, Mikey. What'd you see?
Oh, absolutely. It's not dead. It's transformed like anything else. It's adapted. The Raiders changed Vegas. You have the Golden Knights because of the Raiders. The Raiders are here. You're going to have the Oakland A's here. You're going to get an NBA franchise. It's becoming a more well-rounded city. But if you want to come to Vegas and have fun, Vegas is still the capital of the world. JT, I called you for one reason. I don't know what the Raiders' final thing is going to be, but we have to be 4-3 going into our bye week. I don't put a lot of stuff on this first game against New England, but it's as close to as much win as possible. We got to go on the road, get the confidence. I want to be 4-3 playing Jacksonville November 2nd and set up the rest of the season. JT, I just got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Pickett, is he healthy to back up?
Yes. Yeah, Pickett's the number 2. They signed another quarterback as an emergency, but yeah, Pickett going forward will be there for Geno in case of emergency, and he can go win games. Like all the other Raider backups we've seen the last couple of years, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, who's ever there as the backup, they're all capable of winning games, but this is about Geno staying healthy and Geno trying to dominate this year.
And the wide receiver room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we looking at? Jacoby Myers and Cooper 1-2 and Trey Tucker the slot. I have a lot of confidence with that. With Bowers on the inside with that. So I'll put that group up against New England's group anytime. And you said it best. I'll take Geno Smith in a war against Drake May. We have to win this first game. My prediction: Max Crosby 2 sacks and a block pass that turns into an interception. JT all the way this year. 4-3 for week 8. Have a great day.
Yeah, that'd be, I don't know if that's ideal, but 4-3 to beat Jacksonville to go 5-3, that'd be nice. That'd be okay. I don't think a lot of Raider fans would be upset about that. But this is a team that when you talk about going all the way and what the Raiders can do, the Raiders are deep, I think, at wide receiver, even though they don't have a Jamar Chase and a Justin Jefferson. Jacoby Myers is a very good player. So is Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper didn't look like he had a lot left in Buffalo. He didn't. I talked to people in Buffalo, said he wasn't getting open, but he changed up his body to get a job. He worked out harder to get a job. Maybe there's more of a burst there. I don't know. I'm hoping Amari is such a pro and such a great route runner. Don't forget Jack Besh, the second-round pick, and Dante Thornton, who played well in the preseason. When the Raiders come out on the field with Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer and Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker and Dante Thornton and Besh and Cooper, I mean, how much more do you need? I just named 7 guys who are going to run routes. Get the ball to them and pass protect. It's going to come down to the offensive line running the ball to set up the pass. Running the ball to set up the pass. You know, at times I don't like running the ball. I don't like running it into the pile. But Ashton Gentry's different. If you hand the ball up the middle to Ashton Gentry with his low center of gravity, he might bounce off of someone and get outside for a 30-yard gain. God, I watched a lot of bad football over the weekend. College football's back. Did you see some of the garbage that was out there? Did you see some of those games? The Belichick game last night was garbage. And I didn't see much. Clemson got shut out in the second half of their game. Arch Manning, man, I really thought Arch Manning would come out there and not be great, but he wouldn't be awful. He stunk up the joint. Alabama didn't even run to the football. Alabama was loafing in the first quarter of their first game. They weren't running to the football. That's crazy. So that was interesting to watch and see. But we are all in on the Raiders, and we want to hear from Raider fans. Again, it's like I'm driving down the road. I don't want to pull over. I want to see Raider fans on my phones. I want to see Raider fans in the chat. I want to see Raider fans on X. Okay, this is it. This is the start of our job. Your job is being a passionate Raider fan on top of your job, your real job. And my job is to run a fast-paced radio show where everything's on the line every day. And I'm excited to do that. The monologue is brought to you by PTs. They fuel the monologue. 5 to 7, midnight to 2. It's the best happy hour in town. Head on out to PTs and go watch sports. Man, they have happy hours right in the wheelhouse of all these games. Half-price drinks, really good food, gaming, whatever you want to do. We welcome PTs back as our longest-standing partner on my shows since I've been back in Vegas, thanks to PTs. When we come back, we got a new partner I want to tell you about. How about this one? Well, this one, I drive by it every day on the 215 as I drive to deep Henderson from the mean streets of Summerlin. They don't provide me a helicopter. I have to drive on the 215 to the 15. Then I drive past the M, another proud partner. But we welcome a new one coming up next. And let's get going as the Raiders are ready for the Patriots.
The Horde tailgate.
Well, both my sons are there. I can see my sons as they are navigating the feed. Appreciate that. Oh, Big D, Lee Sterling, 1-2 this weekend. Well, when you pick three, Big D, you could go 3-0, you can go 2-1, or you can go 0-3. Wow. I saw a lot of other Sharks get their ass kicked this weekend. Across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly. Want to do Upshaw first?
You simply can't allow deep blood water. You know the terror. Rushing your car. Drowning in your car is a tragedy you can.
How was everybody's weekend? How was everybody's Labor Day? Everybody have a good Labor Day? I was in the pool, little cookout in the pool. Watched the Belichick game. I was on Mad Dog Radio at 9. I'm on tonight again. We brought in Stephen A. Smith on the channel, so I got bumped back an hour, which is fine. You know, if you're a bartender and you're used to working at 7 and they say come in at 8, same people you're serving, same booze. So I'll be on starting, I think, tonight, 8 to 11 tonight, which is kind of late, but not late out west. The games end. Games are going on. Like Laker games start at 7 o'clock. So I come on at halftime of a Laker game. But, yeah, you could always listen on demand anytime. So our two Raiders all-time draft picks today are Gene Upshaw and Fred Biletnikoff. Gene Upshaw and Fred Biletnikoff.
Big Las Vegas. Les Olson IT has moved to a bigger, better facility to serve you like never before. Our new space means more technology, more service, and more solutions, all designed with you in mind. Plus, we're hiring. If you're ready to grow with a company that values innovation and community, join our team today. Proudly serving Las Vegas for 23 years and counting. Les Olson IT, our business better.
And I'm booking a couple of Patriot guests this week. Greg Bedard, Andy Gresh, Max Crosby just texted me. Max is going to join me next week in studio. How cool is that? I'm going to do a live read here. Bobby flagged for Radio Ray, please.
Subs.com, on the app, or right on in today. Stirring up only for a limited time. Hey Jeff, how's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss, and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait.
Also, I'm going to be making my Super Bowl pick tomorrow. If you've been following along on social media, I have the Buffalo Bills in the AFC. I have not picked an NFC team yet. It's down between the Packers, the Eagles, and the Lions.
Best way to do it is
You know I'm not going to pick the 49ers, right? You know that.
can earn up to a $250
$50 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. With the William Hill Nevada mobile sports app, you'll never miss another bet. William Hill has the largest wagering menu, and the app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up location, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800.
Welcome back to JT the Brick Show, brought to you by Modelo Especial, the #1 beer in the U.S.
Over the next few weeks of summer, JT will look back at the most influential Raiders draft picks in the history of this storied franchise.
With the 13th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select
the players only drafted by the Raiders who played in the most important games and also had lasting impacts on the NFL.
Here's Gene Upshaw. Gene, congratulations on that championship. Oh, man, it's really great. I'm coming in here. I see you. I see Jim Hill. I see Stu. What the heck is this, the convention? Absolutely. We always come to the winner's locker room. What were some of the keys now to the game today? Okay, some of the keys in the game were we had to control the line of scrimmage, and we didn't do that the first time. We gave up 8 sacks, but there's no carryover in this game. In other words, it helped you, perhaps, having been troubled by the Eagles that first meeting back there in Philadelphia. You were ready for those guys this time. Yes, we were. We knew we had to control the line of scrimmage. We went out and did that. And when we did that, there was no way that they could stay with us.
Gene Upshaw, Eugene Thomas Upshaw Jr., born August 15th, 1945. He passed away August 20th, 2008. Drafted by the Oakland Raiders in 1967, first round, the 17th pick overall. Gene Upshaw, one of the most influential alumni in Raider history. We have Gene Upshaw, hour number 1, Fred Biletnikoff, hour number 2. How does that feel? How does that feel for two of the all-time greatest Raiders? Uppy, as they called him, an AFL champion. Remember, he was drafted. He won a championship in the AFL, 2-time Super Bowl champ, a 3-time first-team All-Pro. At one point, he had a record for the most starts ever by a rookie, which is pretty incredible. Most consecutive starts to begin a career, including the playoffs. 231 starts in a row. 231. That includes all the games and the playoffs and the championships. Just an incredible stat I wanted to get in here. 6-time Pro Bowler, 1970s All-Decade Team, the 75th anniversary All-Decade Team, and the 100th anniversary All-Decade Team. Gene Upshaw, one of the greatest Raiders of all time, influential, impactful first round, 17th pick in 1967. I'm actually waiting on Raider fans today in headquarters. Wow, I thought school started today. Is it tomorrow? Is tomorrow the first day of school or is it today? Okay, I think it's today. 702-365-9200. Also, I'm in a good mood for now. Want to thank our brand new partner, Finley Volvo Cars, Las Vegas, on Rainbow and the 215, FinleyVolvo.com. Volvo, one of the safest and best performing cars in the world. We got them in, and they're in. And I want to thank Mike and the whole team. I was over in the showroom. Outstanding. The vehicles they have, second to none. The service, fantastic. And they are inviting all Raider Nation to just come out and test drive these all-new hybrid Volvos. If you want to have a little hybrid in your life, go try it out. Maybe the best stereo system in the world in cars, fact, not fiction. And the service is tremendous. So we welcome in Finley Volvo. It's right there on Rainbow and the 215. I drive by it every time I come here. Every time I drive by, I gotta wave to our new partner, Finley Volvo. Appreciate them coming in. 702-365-9200. Tomorrow and Thursday, as I have some guests from New England, we'll get into the keys to this game. What I'm looking forward, Raider fans, this week is the final score of the game and how many games you think the Raiders win. Okay, this is the low-hanging fruit week because starting Monday, we're going to analyze the games, the wins or the losses, whatever happens, hopefully the wins. And that'll be the show. The show will come in here every day, and I'll have some Raider fans who are hostile if they don't win. I'll have some Raider fans who are glorious and victorious when they do win. But now we're previewing the New England Patriots. And the elephant in the room is Josh McDaniels is the coach over there. And as he's coaching over there, he doesn't have to worry about offending players. He's not the head coach. And, some people are going to buy into his system or not. Some didn't buy into it here in Las Vegas. We understand why. He wasn't a head coach people person, but he's a hell of a play caller. And he will draw up plays to go up against this Raider defense and Patrick Graham, who coached under Josh McDaniels when he was the head coach. And I'm sure Coach McDaniels knows every player and the schemes that the Raiders are going to throw at him. And the Raiders know Josh McDaniels and the play calling he likes to call. The only criticism I have of the football man, Josh McDaniels, the football guy, is I thought he was very conservative as the head coach of the Raiders with the offense. He didn't have the greatest players. He went all in on Jimmy G. That was a mistake. Jimmy G was a mistake. They went in on Jimmy G and gave him a lot of money when they didn't have to. They could have went in another road. I gave him credit for drafting Aiden O'Connell. I thought that was a good draft pick, and they got him ready to play, and he had to play. But the problem was I don't think I saw what I was expecting to see from McDaniels as the head coach calling the plays. I wanted to see much more motion, exotic stuff, really cool stuff, and we didn't see it. So he's kind of a basic offensive coordinator. He had Tom Brady. So did Belichick. And Belichick had, Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady. It all went around in a circle, but they're all a part of those championships. So as I looked at some tape this week on Drake May, Drake May, he can beat you two ways. He's really good in the pocket, in a clean pocket. He's not going to have a clean pocket. He's not. Max Crosby will not give him a clean pocket. So if Drake May is rolling to his left, okay, so we're going left to right on your radio dial. And if he gets flushed out and Max is chasing him and he has to throw it across his body, he'll make a mistake. If Malcolm Kuntz is chasing him towards Max, that's not good. So the chance that the Patriots have in this game is chipping and double teaming Max Crosby with the tight end. They have to leave a back or a tight end to chip Max. You cannot go one-on-one with Max in this matchup. You just can't. And by doing that, that'll be one less receiver that's in there because they're going to be blocking for Max. And then you got to secure the edge. Malcolm Kuntz and Max has got to make sure that runners don't get around on the outside because that's been a problem for the Raiders. Also, taking a look at the Patriots in their depth chart, it's going to be very important that the Patriots, if they have a clean pocket, Drake May throws a beautiful pass over the middle of the field. That has been the nemesis of the Raiders in Las Vegas, not protecting the middle of the field. And if the middle of the field is open and Drake May has a clean pocket, he will have a field day completing passes 10 to 15 yards over the middle of the field. Josh McDaniels understands this. They know this. So I think it's going to be very important here that the linebackers play well. If Jeremy Chin comes up to the line of scrimmage or Jamal Adams, that they play at a very high level here. Because this depth chart for New England is not very impressive. They were worse than the Raiders last year. I don't believe they had a better offseason than the Raiders. They had an offseason like Bill Belichick did. Bill Belichick flipped the roster in North Carolina. Mike Vrabel completely flipped the roster in New England. And as we take a look at this New England depth chart, I think the Raiders can get after it. So this is a team, Travion Henderson running the football could be a bit of a problem. Stephon Diggs, obviously coming off a knee surgery, shouldn't be the Stephon Diggs he was back in the day. And they don't have any other receiver who's better than Jacoby Myers. They don't have a tight end who's better than Brock Bowers. So as I look at this team, Hunter Henry can play. Austin Hooper we're aware of. This is not a team that's loaded the way the Patriots with Brady was loaded when he had Randy Moss and they had Gronk and they had Edelman and Welker. So I think the base Raider defense can do a nice job overall. I think the base Raider defense, if they tackle well, can do a nice job and they can get after it. So I'm looking for Raider fans with the keys to the game today. The key to what you think the Raiders need to do to win the game. Because we got a short week. We were off for Labor Day. It's already Tuesday. And we got a couple of shows and we're loaded up with guests. So you got a window to get in at 702-365-9200. The defense is going to be a Mike Vrabel-led defense, which is pretty good. And they have a lot of no-name guys, but they do have the addition of Robert Spillane. And Robert Spillane knows the Raiders well. And we have a lot of respect for Robert Spillane, but he plays for the enemy now. And Spillane, I think the Raiders can attack him. I mean, why not run Michael Mayer right at Robert Spillane? Why not have a couple of run plays where Michael Mayer is lined up on the offensive line and Michael Mayer finds Robert Spillane and blasts him into next week? Spillane's tough. Michael Mayer can put his shoulder into Robert Spillane and open up the middle of the field. And I also think that Michael Mayer needs some touches in this game. As Fanatic Lance says on my YouTube channel, he's saying, I think we're going to have to score a good 34 points to win this game. Wow, oh boy, 34 points? I think the Raiders will score 34 or more points at times this season. On the road in the first game, that's a big number. I think the Raiders will have to score 24 points to win the game. I really do. The Raiders, talking about it yesterday to my son, one of my sons about it, my youngest son, season ticket holder. He sits with his mom and me at the games, and he hasn't watched Raider football yet, where the offense has stayed on the field his entire life in Vegas. My son, he sits in the seats, lower bowl. He's never seen an offense that can sustain anything positive. They've had some good scoring opportunities in the past, but we haven't seen anything productive from the offense staying on the field and winning games. I said, don't worry about it. We got Geno now. We're good. He goes, I agree, Dad. We're good. I mean, if you've just filled out your fantasy team, you got to be pretty excited. If you filled out your fantasy team and added some Raiders, you got to be pretty excited about that. So Chip Kelly didn't show us much. He didn't give away the preseason. Didn't give us much at all. But what Chip Kelly does have now is the keys to the offense. And I think that Chip Kelly is going to find a way to take this up a notch. I want to thank Alex and Orlando DeCastroverde, proud partners of our show, the DeCastroverde Law Group. Been with me a while now. If you need an injury attorney, an accident attorney, they're two of the best. Brothers Win. The brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com. So that's where we're at. I'm live from Raiders headquarters. I'm ready to roll today. You are apparently not. So we'll reset this show and I'll do a better job to get the Raider fans going heading into New England. I'm sure Boston isn't having a problem on their radio shows today with their fan bases. Let's go. Wake up the Raider Nation and get them to growl. It feels like a big game. It is to me. Let's get you going. Raider Nation, unite. Might go mute for no reason. There we go. Yeah, I didn't want to say the callers suck day one, but they kind of suck day one. So I'm going to freaking rip the roof off and get this thing going. It's like the grand opening of a restaurant and no one's out front. Let's go. Let's get going here, man. It's not a freaking podcast. I do plenty of podcasts, including my new podcast with Rod Woodson, Hall of Famer Rod Woodson, and our new podcast debuting this week. Where is Derek Carr on the list of draft picks? Great question. He was not in the top 10, and this was about the top 10. Derek is one of the many that we didn't cover. We covered about 28 players and Derek was a good player, and I'll make sure I mention that. But he didn't win a playoff game, and I got 20 to 30 guys that have won 2 Super Bowls. So I think that speaks for itself. But I think highly of Derek. I think he's really important.
Call Sam and Ash, 702-303-0333. Sam and Ash, because you deserve what's right.
Hey Rebels, it's tailgate time. Game day's called and Raising Cane's is bringing the party. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium or hosting a watch party for the Rebels, Cane's tailgates are the real MVP. We're talking hammed out and cooked order chicken fingers and that legendary cane sauce, add in some crispy crinkle cut fries, buttery Texas toast, and jugs of lemonade and tea, and your game day just leveled up. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, official chicken fingers of the UNLV Rebels. Go Rebels!
At Intermountain Health, we believe life is a circle. May yours surround you with insight, a healthy perspective, trust, and reassurance. The belief that our differences...
Thor says he called 3 times and no pickups 3 times.
Just most. He's the one that's almost a health. That's the one that keeps hanging up on. Yours help you live the healthiest life possible. Intermountain Health.
Running a business gets more complicated every year, so you need a...
I would doubt Thor was hanging up on you.
Especially when it comes to your workers' comp program. Pro Group Management has been helping Nevada's self-insured businesses for over 20 years. Whether your business is retail, trucking, building, agriculture, or auto, our team has the expertise to make sure your coverage meets your needs and at a price that fits your budget. Our award-winning team keeps track of all the important regulatory issues that impact your business. We help with safety, compliance, and inspections, because that's what you should expect from a trusted business partner. Find out how to have Pro Group Management work for you. Visit our website at pgmnv.com to receive a free cost savings analysis now. That's pgmnv.com, or call our Las Vegas office at 702-740-4380. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
We are a full go on football betting, and the best way to do it is to sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account. And you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. With the William Hill Nevada mobile sports app, you'll never miss another bet. William Hill has the largest wagering menu, and the app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome back to the JT the Freak Show. Brought to you by PT's. The best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
Sam, Raiders on the Dolphins 13. Happy leading 10-7.
A lot of money line money on North Carolina, but there was a lot of favorite support for TCU. So it was really divided and not too much of a decision for the house.
Very interesting in some of those college games with prop bets with Arch Manning, who was a disaster overall. Clemson got shut out in the second half at home. I mean, that never happens. So tell us about the college card and how it played out over at the Westgate.
Yeah, it was a really good weekend for the book. Starting off with the Ohio State-Texas game, Texas was a very popular underdog. And usually that doesn't translate well, and it didn't on Saturday. The best game of the weekend for us, the Florida State-Alabama game, with Florida State taking down Alabama and taking out a lot of teasers and moneyline parlays. And then the big one on Sunday night, the Miami win against Notre Dame. There was a ton of support, sharp and public, on Notre Dame.
Jeff Sherman is our guest. So let's start off with the NFL and how many people and what the handle looks like, because a bizarre opening here coming up. The Thursday night game is always a big one, but the Friday game in Sao Paulo, Brazil with Kansas City and the Chargers. Let's hit those two games first, the line and the totals on both those.
Yeah, we opened early in the summer, the Eagles a 7-point favorite against the Cowboys, and that's ticked up to 8 now, especially with Micah Parsons not being on Dallas anymore. So a lot of line movement based on that. The total 47.5 on that game. It's been driven up to in relation with Micah Parsons leaving. On Friday night, the Chiefs opened 2.5 against the Chargers, being played in Brazil again. That has been bet up to the Chiefs a 3-point favorite. The total opened 45, and that's ticked up to 46. And that's actually seen sharp support on that total over, and that's before the public's gotten involved yet.
All right, let's move on to the Jets and the Steelers, where you initially opened this game. Aaron Rodgers coming in to the Jets here. Jets defense trending upwards here. Didn't see much of Aaron Rodgers in the offseason.
Yeah, and we opened this line before Rodgers had signed with Pittsburgh, and we opened Pittsburgh -3. And we've gotten sharp money on the Jets. It's down to Pittsburgh -2.5, -116. And you have to remember, we're using a 16-cent line. So -108, -108, or in this case, -116 and even. But we've seen sharp support on the Jets here. So it's gotten off the number of 3 on Pittsburgh.
Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate. Giant game fascinates me at the Commanders here. I know in the summer I saw the Commanders -7.5. I think there's been some line movement for the Giants. A lot of fans like the Giants over the season win total, and coming into this game, how was the line moved?
Yeah, we opened the Commanders 7-point favorite. It's down to 6, and we were just 5.5 this morning. And we took some sharp play, -5.5 on Washington. So market pretty much settled at 6, but like you mentioned, after opening as a 7-point favorite.
Raider fans love to bet the Raiders no matter what here. And New England here with the Raiders coming up here. Season win total for the Silver and Black, and what that looked like for you over at the Westgate, and the point spread and the total coming into this one.
Yeah, we opened New England a 3.5-point favorite and have received sharp money on the Raiders, taking +3.5 and +3. So the Patriots are sitting as a 2.5-point favorite, total 43.5. The total has seen sharp play on the over after opening 42. As far as a season win total, we did open the Raiders at 6.5 with the over favored, over -135. A lot of one-way traffic on the Raiders over, so it's up to 7.5.
Wow.
Under -150 and over +130, but the number has moved a full win upwards.
A full win upward for the Silver and Black, a game that's fascinating to me. And I think a really big one is the Lions and the Packers. We're waiting on the news of Micah Parsons back here, and the Lions really should be chippy after losing the NFC Championship at home. Weather's not an issue here for Jared Goff as they're playing a summertime game at Green Bay.
Yeah, we had opened the Lions as a 1-point favorite early in the summer, and then they had some injuries through camp. And that swayed the line to Green Bay as a small favorite -1. And then after acquiring Micah Parsons, it's ticked up to currently Green Bay -2.5 with a total of 47.5.
Jeff, as we wrap it up, my most intriguing game week 1 is the 49ers at the Seahawks. I know there's a tight line in this game and it moved off the original number here. I think the Seahawks home opener, it's tough to play in that building. The Niners were so banged up in the preseason. A lot of their guys didn't practice. They didn't practice here in Vegas at the joint practice. A lot of the guys sat out there, and they've been trying to sign players late to fill out that roster overall. Where's the money in that game going?
Yeah, we initially opened the Niners a 1-point favorite. Saw over the summer support to get as high as San Francisco -2.5. Now it's come back down a little bit. We're sitting at 49ers -2, and I can see less numbers showing up now, and it wouldn't surprise me if it heads towards Seattle's direction over the weekend.
And last one, Bills-Ravens, the line on that game, that looks like an AFC Championship preview.
Yeah, open the Bills a 1.5-point favorite at home against Baltimore. It's been bet down to pick 'em. And the way the sharp money is going on this one, it wouldn't surprise me if Baltimore goes off favorite on Sunday night.
So you said pick 'em there, Jeff. Typically, if you can tell our audience and some of the new bettors, what does it mean, the points to play at home? Used to be 3, it felt like, and then I remember last year you saying 2.5. What do you feel this year coming into that particular game?
Yeah, that's where we sit right now. Is if you're equal teams at home, you'd be a 2.5-point favorite. So Here you have Baltimore has a higher power rating, obviously, than Buffalo at this point going into the season.
Last one, Jeff. I picked the Bills to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to pick an NFC team tomorrow to go up against them. Who has the shortest odds in the NFC to win the NFC championship?
Well, right now it's the Eagles.
Mhm.
Right now they're leading the way, and you got shortly behind that, you got a trio of Detroit, San Francisco, and Green Bay. And for the Super Bowl, Green Bay was 20-1. Now they're down to 12-1 after acquiring Micah Parsons. So major movement on their side.
Jeff, have a great time over at the Westgate. I'll see you out there. Thanks for everything you do.
Okay, thanks, JT.
That's Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management over at the Westgate. Yeah, I got to make my Super Bowl pick tomorrow, and I got to figure out who's it going to be. And I'm leaning towards the Packers. I don't know if I'll pick them because last year I picked Detroit to win the Super Bowl over Buffalo. I'm staying with Buffalo. I'm going to stay with Buffalo to get it done. I don't know if I'm going to pick them to win. That'll be my pick tomorrow on who's going to win the Super Bowl. Raiders 66. Thanks for waiting. We appreciate it. Go ahead.
Hey, welcome, JT. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Welcome to the new season.
Yes, I can't wait. Yeah. But Gene Upshaw, there's another one of my favorites, man. I mean, this guy is arguably the greatest guard in NFL history. He was just tremendous. They say, you never know how great a person is until they're gone, and then you see how people react to him. Well, Gene Upshaw just had one accolade after another. He was the NFLPA director, after he retired till he passed away. But when he passed away, all 32 teams wore a patch on their jersey, number 63. That's like Jackie Robinson stuff. I mean, you're talking the reverence they had for this guy. And then after that first weekend, everybody except the Raiders replaced the patch with a sticker on the helmet. That is something. The Cancer Center at the hospital in Truckee, California, where he passed away, is named after Gene Upshaw. Gene Upshaw, in 2004, the NCAA Division II named the offensive lineman of the year in his name. And this guy just had accolade after accolade. There's only 4 players, JT, that have played in the Super Bowl in 3 different decades. Gene Upshaw is one of them, and he's the first to win a Super Bowl in 3 different decades. You talk about the great players that the Raiders have had. Their offensive line was the key to those great teams. We know that this year, we want that offensive line to pave the way for Genty and the running backs. Listen to this. In 1971, the Raiders had the greatest, not arguably, the greatest offensive line in the history of professional football. They had Art Shell, Hall of Fame tackle. Gene Upshaw, Hall of Fame guard. Jim Otto, Hall of Fame center. George Beeler, the only one on the list that is not in the Hall of Fame. And then you got Bob Brown, Hall of Fame. They had Ron Mix, Hall of Famer, on the bench as a tackle. That is the engine that drives greatness, and the Raiders want to look forward to that this year. We're going to have so much fun, JT. I can't wait. Thank you for the time. Have a great day.
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. Way to go. We appreciate that. Thanks so much for checking in. Raiders 66 on Highway 63 and the impact that Gene Upshaw had. Hey, there's a new way to get to the game at Allegiant Stadium. M-Ride it. M-Ride is the luxury concierge shuttle service. It's the same bus the players use, so you can ride like a pro. M-Ride will take you round trip from Circa, the Palms, and now the Link, right to Allegiant Stadium. No more hassle parking. You don't want to sit in traffic or waiting on those long taxi or rideshare lines. Ride like a pro. M-Ride it, and you'll get there quickly. Go to mride.com, and they have a deal for our listeners. Use the promo code BRICK and get the discount. This is how my wife gets to the game. It's that good. It's a luxury bus. It'll pick you up at those spots. That's mride.com, promo code BRICK. 1 hour up, 1 to go. Next hour, Fred Bolitnikoff as our most influential alumni. Alex Eshelman's going to join us from ABC 13. And the longest standing insider of the Raiders, Bill Williamson, at 105. Oh, boy, the straight shooter. I wonder what he has to think about the Raiders and their chances at New England, live from Raiders headquarters and on YouTube.
The first Sunday night game of the year features the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, man. Now we're good. I hope everyone's good. We got 724 people in there, man. 724. Has everybody hit subscribe? Everybody on Twitter. Everybody, please hit subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that.
Alexandra will monitor this. So you can get that one.
They act like the lungs of our home, which are hit with bacteria, viruses, dust, and other contaminants. Air duct cleaning is an essential part of your home maintenance, which is why Zero Res developed a revolutionary air duct cleaning process that has been recognized as breakthrough technology in this industry. Oh man, I know when I had my air duct service from Zero Res, I noticed the difference immediately. It smelled better, I felt better, there was so much less dust in the air, and you'll see it for yourself when you call Zero Res today and ask for the Clay Baker special. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your air duct cleaning by calling 702-840-3333 or go online, ZeroResLasVegas.com. Spelled the same forward or backward, Zero Res is the right way to clean. Minimum supply.
This season, get in the game with the William Hill Pro Pick'em Football Contest. Just pick the winning teams, no point spreads, and take home your share of up to $1,210,000 in cash prizes. For a $25 entry fee, you'll be picking for your share of $10,000 in weekly prizes. Finish the 215 season win. Get the $1 million today and get your picks in for kickoff on Sunday, September 7th.
What's going on, chat? What's hot today, man? What's hot today? Man, we got a lot of new partners on the show. We added Volvo. We added a jeweler. We have Remy Martin back. We have Virgin Hotels. We have Boyd Gaming. We have M Resort. We have the DeCasta Verde Law Group. We have Modelo. How about that? So we are rocking here, man. Appreciate all of our partners. Please support them. Oh, yes. Really excited for you to hear this Pete Carroll interview. I think it'll be on Raiders.com coming up here pretty soon.
The skilled members of Laborers Local 872 never stop building. From the asphalt on our roads, the concrete in our buildings, the solar fields powering the economy, and everything in between to work safely. Laborers Local 872, modernizing the Nevada workforce and building a global city. The future is strong.
All right.
Changing everything. Our family has spent over 3 decades fighting and pursuing justice for the injured. It's a long family heritage that we proudly carry on.
From our father to our family to the expert legal team at DeCasta Verde, we founded this firm for you. We're the DeCasta Verde Brothers,
and we have your back.
BrothersWin.com. Your home for radio coverage of Monday Night Football games is right here on your football station, Raider Nation Radio 920 AM, KRLV Las Vegas.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by Grimaldi's Pizzeria, home of the famous New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza.
Las Vegas Raiders football.
This is the front for the silver and black. The starter's out there as Locke's looking left out of the shotgun. Pressure on him, throws it out to the corner. Intercepted by the Raiders. Looking right all the way to Lobby. Lobby gets it to the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Las Vegas Raiders. Dylan Lobby, hands looking right, pump fakes. He's going to go deep down the sideline. That'll be a touchdown. Cedric Jackson for the Las Vegas Raiders. Hand came through, looked off the coverage, hit him coming down the sideline. Pacino in the shotgun, looking left and then back right to Dante to a corner fade. He catches it at the end. Touchdown, Las Vegas Raiders. Dante Thornton right on the back shoulder, and the Raiders are on the board.
Here's your host, JT the Brick.
Yeah, that's about it for me. Those are some of my preseason play-by-play calls. Now we get to the regular season with Jason Horowitz on the call, with Kirk Morris and JT back with you. It's kind of the first day of school. Thrilled to be in the building today. I already interviewed Pete Carroll. You'll see that on some Raider platforms. We'll play it on radio tomorrow. And then next week on Wednesday, not tomorrow, but following week, we'll broadcast the show live on the Raiders YouTube on Wednesday from noon to 1, which is a big deal. The Raiders have a massive YouTube platform that's building, and we're excited about that. So that's all going to happen this week because of Labor Day on Monday. We're all off, and we're going to get rolling, and we got an early pregame show, 8 o'clock in the morning. So we're up early. I'll be with Eric Allen on the pregame show and the postgame show with Lincoln Kennedy. I picked up Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. I'm live on Mad Dog Sports Radio from 8 to 11 p.m. Yeah, that's a little bit late, but I'm doing that from home, which isn't a problem. And then a new podcast. My podcast is back with Tom Looney. If you listen to that podcast, and I'd appreciate it, JT and Looney, wherever you download your podcast. And this year I have a new podcast with Rod Woodson, the Hall of Famer, one of the top 25 players to ever live. Rod, my son, and a couple of people wanted to get behind trying something out. And I said, sure. So we're going to have a discussion every week with Rod Woodson, who's one of the smartest people I've ever talked to when it comes to football. I've interviewed thousands, plural, of people, not hundreds. And Rod is a top 10. When you talk football with Rod Woodson, he's a former legendary player. He's obviously a former coach. He's a Hall of Famer at a very young age. He's a Hall of Famer. And we're going to do that. And we'll tell you how to get that on what platforms going forward there. So we're going to be pretty busy. And the start of school was today. I felt like it was. The only thing was missing was my wife taking one of those pictures of me outside and give me a bag lunch to take to school. It feels like today, my 28th season with the Raiders, it feels like it's day one. Very humbled and happy to be here. All of our new partners that we'll be welcoming, and we bring back Grimaldi's, the best pizza I ever had. Thor, thank you for waiting. You are diehard Raider Nation, Drinking Club, Black Hole. What's going on, Thor?
JT, what's happening, brother? Is finally here. The week is finally here. We are heading to Boston on Thursday. I can't wait to get out there and represent. Honestly, I believe this is the most important game of the year. Obviously, every single game next will be the most important. But honestly, we need this game. New England is a great franchise through history, but they're not that good right now. Their defense was atrocious last year. Geno Smith played them last year. Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks threw for over 300 yards on them. Now, I want to run the ball, but if we have to throw all over them, throw all over them with Brock Bowers, with Dante Thornton, with Jacoby Meyer, with Big Mike Mayer. Let's go. I mean, I really think I know 30 I really believe we're going to win this game 31-23, 31-24 around there. We have got to score touchdowns in the red zone. We have to run the ball on third down and let them know we are here and we are a real NFL team. We're not a joke anymore. We have Pete Carroll in there, who's a Hall of Fame head coach when he retires. This team has to go on the road. I'm really happy this is week one because it's tough to go East Coast. We know that, but at least your body is a little less. It takes a little less to get used to it week one. So I feel like that gives us a small advantage. We need to be mad. We still need to be mad about the tuck rule. Let's get in there and hurt their feelings. Let's go. Raider Nation all day, JT. Let's go, baby.
Yes, there we go, Thor. Good to see it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are upset still about the tuck rule. No doubt about it. That stole a Super Bowl ring from me, which I was hoping to get, and I got an AFC championship ring the following year. That was one of the most unique and unfortunate moments in Raider history, period. And we're all upset about it. And it's been a long time ago, and that scar is still there. That scar remains. And I don't know what to tell you. The Tom Brady era was massive. Tom Brady, over 19 years, winning 6 Super Bowls in New England. They did it the right way. They beat everybody. They feasted on the AFC East. And the way that Kansas City has been feasting on the AFC West. And that's it. I don't know what to tell you here, man, when it comes to the hatred you have for certain teams. I know most Raider Nation can't stand the Chargers. They don't even acknowledge them. They despise Denver and Kansas City with the Swifties. As I mentioned, that's the biggest bandwagon team in the world right now is Kansas City. And they got good fans. They're regular fans who have been there with them for 50 years. I'm not talking about them. I'm just talking about their new fans and what the problem is, because they got millions of new fans. Millions of new fans. And I don't know what to say about it. I've never seen anything like it. I've been doing sports my whole life, my whole adult life, either before I got into radio and as a diehard fan. I have never seen a team have this many bandwagon fans because of one person who doesn't play on the team. She's a pop star. She's global. She could not be any bigger right now, and she's driving all of her fans to the Chiefs. That's accurate. That's accurate what I'm saying. I'm on some Kansas City message board. I went on my Facebook page and I found some link to this I hate JT the Brick thing because I said they're bandwagon fans. I ain't taking it back. They're full, Kansas City now, of bandwagon fans. If Travis Kelce wasn't dating her and all the winning that they're doing and they're getting fans, they would deserve it. Kansas City would deserve every new fan they're getting because they're winning. How do you think the Patriots went from being nothing until having a global fan base? The Patriots never had a global fan base. The Patriots never had a global fan base. Well, they dominated for 20 years and they picked up a whole bunch of fans, just like Dallas did with America's team. Tom Landry had Roger Staubach. They became America's team. Jerry Jones won 3 Super Bowls. America's team got huge. They're the number 1 revenue team in America in sports. They won 5 Super Bowls. Raiders got to start winning because of Vegas being so big to the NFL. Vegas is monstrous to the NFL. Every owner is getting a bigger check than they've ever gotten before because Mark Davis took the team to Vegas. They're all getting a check that looks like Christmas every morning because of Vegas. But we got to win. Raider Nation, I'm a member of Raider Nation. If we don't win, this fan base isn't going to grow at the level it should. Bill Williamson is our longest tenured Raider insider. He's fantastic. He'll be joining us every other Tuesday, but I wanted to get him up here this Tuesday to come on in and preview the season. And Bill, good to have you back. I interviewed Pete Carroll today. He's pretty optimistic, but we haven't seen him play real football games. How do you think the team looks?
Yeah, I mean, certainly good question, and we will see soon. I mean, lots to be excited about, lots to question as well. I think it's a really good first game for them. You know, yes, it's a road game. Yes, it's an early game, and they've historically struggled in those, 10 o'clock Pacific time windows. But, the Patriots are a similar team as the Raiders, a team that struggled last year. I think they went 4-13 as well.
Yeah.
They have a new coach. So I think it's a pretty good matchup for the Raiders, a pretty good opportunity to start the season on the right foot.
Well, let's talk about what concerns Raider fans is the young secondary. And as I talked to Coach Carroll today, it has a lot to do with the pass rush, getting to the quarterback, that hopefully can help the secondary here because they're young and they're pretty much unproven other than Stokes. And he's not a multiple Pro Bowl guy here. So when you look at the Raiders and what they're putting out there in the secondary, I like Chin. And I think Isaiah Palomal deserves to be there as a starting safety, but the cornerbacks do concern me.
Yeah, I mean, unproven. We'll see. I mean, look at this is Pete Carroll's calling card, coaching the secondary. They've had opportunity to add at the position, and they really haven't. So, on one hand, you think maybe they feel strongly about it. I mean, Pete Carroll has said they're going for it. He used those words multiple times. So if he really felt like he wasn't where he wanted to be at that position, you would think that he would have taken the opportunity to improve there. So maybe he feels like he he's got it set up. We'll see. I know they'll be tested, and Drake May isn't a Pro Bowl quality quarterback yet, but he's a pretty good young player. And then they got Herbert the next week, and Daniels the next week, Carroll Williams the next week. So they will be tested early. We'll find our answer if they got what they need pretty quickly.
Bill Williamson is our guest. So, Bill, the ability to get Ashton Genty going, the offensive line, this competition, Pete thing is real. And Jackson Powers Johnson spent the whole offseason probably thinking in the beginning he was the starting center. He's not. And now he introduced him that way. And look, this is big boy football. This isn't, college. Sometimes you look at an opportunity, it's not there. But I like him at right guard because I think he's a mauler, and I think he can move the pile here. And they got to pick which side they're going to run on, off of Colt Miller or off of DJ Glaze or right up the middle, where they haven't been really good. They couldn't do that with Zamir White last year. How do the Raiders get this running game going as you look at the tape and see what they've done in the offseason?
Yeah, well, to answer the Powers Johnson question, that was probably the biggest surprise of the summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Meredith starting at center and the kid from Oregon at guard. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as it works,
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the best setup, go for it. But yeah, running the ball the Raiders had all kinds of issues on offense last year. We know that running the ball was one of them. That they invested big time into this guy. Running backs usually don't get drafted that high. So it's really we're gonna see him be a focal point starting Sunday, and it's gonna be really interesting to watch. Running backs really good running backs traditionally have success right away in the NFL, unlike a lot of positions. So he can have a really big year, and I'm really interested to see what happens on Sunday, how big of a game he's going to have. Because, the Raiders offense, it was Bowers last year, and Jacoby Myers did a nice job. But it's a new coaching staff. It's a new identity. So we're going to see some personalities in the next, first quarter of the season. We'll find out what they really are. I mean, Brock Bowers' targets may go down.
Mm-hmm.
He may have 90 catches. What happened? Well, he had 90 catches still, but it's just a different deal. So I'm really interested to see how things are distributed.
Bill Williamson, Silver and Black Pride. You wrote 23 of the 53 players have been brought in by the new regime. That's pretty standard around the league. New leadership always wants to go out and have an immediate touch on a roster, so that's no surprise. With the roster makeup, is there anything with the Spy Tech ties that you saw to Devin White and Alex Kappa, Carroll's ties to Geno, Jamal Adams, when you look at how they put this team together on the relationship between Pete Carroll and John Spytek and roster building?
Yeah, that number's crept up a little bit now. I think it's like 26 or so.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost half of the new roster.
Right.
The roster is new, and that's pretty standard around the league when there's a new regime. I find it interesting, though, that there's not as many players of ties to Spytek and Carroll as we've seen in the past. And you remember a couple years ago with New England, the New England guys, this is Patriots West, right? There's so many Ziegler, McDaniels, ties players. There's really only 5 right now, and it's Geno Adams, Stone Forsythe, the new offensive backup offensive lineman, and Kappa and White with Spytek. So we'll see. But like Jeff Driscoll, the practice squad quarterback who was signed yesterday, he was drafted by Chip Kelly of the 49ers 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see little things like that. But I thought it was a pretty measured way they built the program. They made 3 trades. They signed 12 free agents. They had 11 draft picks. They had 9 of those draft picks make the team. So we'll see. I mean, Spytek, one of the reasons why he got the job because he came from a very stable, build from within program in Tampa Bay. So, I mean, certainly that's going to be his goal.
Well, Bill, we'll talk to you next week to recap the game and get you in that traditional grid that we have you, and we really appreciate it. But last one, what are real expectations? Because knowing you from my early years in Oakland until now, you've always been a straight shooter. When you've seen good teams like Jack Del Rio's good team or Gruden's good teams, you covered teams that were really good with the Raiders, a lot of mediocre 500 teams, and a few bad teams mixed in here, knowing that Pete Carroll's leading the way with Spy Tech, the fact that Bowers and Genty is here with Geno Smith and Max Crosby. What do you believe are realistic expectations for this team?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, they won 4 games this season, right? So you can't say, they're going to go win 12 games. They are improved in some key areas. They're better at head coach. They're better at offensive coordinator. They're better at quarterback. They're better at running back. Those are really important things to be better at, right? So they will be improved. I don't love their depth. If they have some injuries, it could be problematic, especially on defense. But even on offense, the offense is the calling card. So if you have some key injuries on offense, that's really going to hurt. They're in a really good division. I think if you get to 7 or 8 wins, that's progress. I know that's not going to excite anybody, and I know the clock is ticking. In general, this team has to get better, and there's been so much flops and so much start over. So that may not excite people, but it is what it is. But there are some really fantastic players on this team. Elite players in Crosby and Bowers, and we may be saying the same thing about Genty this time next year. So it's certainly going to be interesting.
Thanks, Bill. I'll talk to you Tuesday. Thanks for doing this late notice. All right. You got it, Bill Williamson. He's really important, as he's one of our longest standing insiders at Silver and Black Pride. And he just said, 7 or 8 wins are realistic. Bill has a keen eye for football, big football, and he is not going to sugarcoat it. And we try to have people on here that won't sugarcoat it. And for those who think I'm a homer, I want the team to win, the hell with everybody. I want the team to win. I'm sitting in the building. I'm in the building right now. I want the team to win. And when they don't win, we are very critical. And we go over everything. And I get to go first. I'm the first voice you hear after the game ends on the Raiders postgame show. This time they're giving me Lincoln Kennedy. So we're going to have Lincoln Kennedy with me after the game. And I can tell you, Lincoln Kennedy's a straight shooter too. So when we look at that, we'll be able to see exactly what this team is doing. And hopefully there's better days. And hopefully there's going to be some days where we don't expect the Raiders maybe to win a game against a tough opponent like Washington and they beat them. And we have a whole week of that celebrating. Or there's a game that you think they're supposed to win and it was a struggle. The season plays out accordingly. Raider Nation, I partnered with Charles Woodson and his Woodson Whiskey again. It's the official bourbon whiskey of the Black Hole and the Las Vegas Raiders. If it wasn't your game day whiskey, it is now. So raise a bottle at your next tailgate and toast the silver and black. The limited edition Black Hole bottle is now available at woodsonwhiskey.com. Charles sent me a personal signed version of this, which is, I'm not going to drink it. It's going to be in my house bar. It looks so cool. You've got to get this bottle, and we're going to give you 15% off if you use my name at the checkout. So we got a lot of deals here that will be requesting you to put my name in and get the deal that I get. So use the promo code JTTheBrick at woodsonwhiskey.com. It's the official whiskey of Raider Nation. Please celebrate responsibly. I'm really excited about that. Thanks to all the bricklayers who have been here for about an hour and a half with me. Alex Eshelman will join us next. If you want to listen to the rest of the show, keep it here on 920 in Vegas. Q's coming up at the top of the hour. And then you can listen on the Raiders mobile app, and all the shows are archived at lvsportsnetwork.com. We got a great week coming up here. Tomorrow, some Patriot insiders, as we need to talk to Patriot insiders, because I got to hear what they're doing on their side. We're talking about the Raiders and how they're going to win. I want to hear what the Patriots are doing, and we'll have that all covered here this week and throughout on our flagship station. Q's got, with his Locked On Raiders podcast, he's got so many great guests from these opposing teams. And then we'll fill out the rest of our grid as we do every week. So that's where we're going. Want to hear from you, 702-365-9200. Now the phone calls count. And coming up next, I'll talk about Fred Biletnikoff. I have one father. my dad, who's still with us at 87 years old. Freddie feels like a member of my family. He's not my dad, but he's someone I lean on heavy, and he's great to me. And we'll talk about Fred Biletnikoff next as one of the most influential top 10 Raider draft picks of all time. That's what we're doing here. Catch me later on tonight on Mad Dog Sports Radio. So when we come back, more on Freddie B. And we'll take your calls the rest of the way. Bobby's back in the studio at Lotus, and I'm here at Raiders headquarters. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we're counting the numbers starting today because it's a brand new season. And I want to really get the numbers up so you can watch what we're doing every day. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Today was a good day. You'll hear the Pete Carroll interview tomorrow, but you might see it earlier at Raiders.com, so look out for that. And then we'll be on tonight, Mad Dog Sports Radio, 8 p.m. So I got a busy day, man. My Mondays, Tuesdays are going to be super busy, but we got a lot going on. Appreciate everybody being here today. Thank you so much, and please subscribe and share. Yeah, share it. Got to share it, man. Share good things with good people.